Welcome back to What's Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and today we have the pleasure of watching TerryDK in the American Tier 6 SPG, the M44, and we're on Serene Coast on the South Spawn. Okay, starting out by going through the passages to the south, which lead out onto the approaches on the east side on the peninsula. Some people tend to go to the west positions, which are in grid squares K2, K3, but Terry is setting up here in the opening to the passage, because you can get good sight lines on the north tanks. And he's killed an M3 Lee! That's lovely. Good shot. Now the M44 has got a wonderfully fast reload. And it's very quick to aim as well. Okay, the target's gone blind. Rounds out. Oh, and the M5 has moved away, so he missed that one. Okay. There are a few other enemy targets in close proximity, so he can have a shot at them. The great thing about the M44 is it's got a pretty good splash as well. Even if you miss the target, a near miss can sometimes be fatal to the enemy. Okay, there's no easy targets there. Ah, it's a Panzer 38 NA. Now these are actually quite fast normally, but he's going to leave that one alone because he's seen a higher priority target. There's a Matilda and a Sarl 42. Rounds out, and he misses the Matilda. I think it overshot actually. Now they've gone unsighted because I think the nearest tank that can see them is either the M4 or the Jackson, and that's extreme range, so they probably can't see those tanks at the moment. But the Stuart and the Stug are have been sighted, and he's aiming on the Stuart. Rounds out, and it's a direct hit, and he's killed the Stug. 35 hit points, another kill. So that's 2 he's got so far. Now the Stuart's gone unsighted, but we know the general area where he is, and there he is. Okay, he can get a shot if he can dial this in. Rounds out. And another direct hit! A kill for 84 points. Okay, the Stug on the peninsula has been spotted, but he's moved off. He's now unsighted. There's also a Panzer T25 that's hiding behind the church. Now the Stug's going to be a difficult shot because he's on a gentle slope in the rear. Okay, he's hiding. Nope, he's moved off. Terry's round landed in the water next to it, but the water does tend to dissipate some of the stun force. Okay, that Panzer 38 NA is near the cap. Now he's shooting at the M5, and unfortunately that M5 has gone down. But Terry's shot does stun the Panzer 38 and does some splash damage. Okay, he's going to reload very shortly. But I think those targets are going out of sight. They are. Okay, one of the TDs was coming in this direction, so hopefully he might be able to get a shot at that instead. They've gone out of sight. Now that Panzer T25 and the Stug, well, we know the Stug was headed back to the cap, but the Panzer T25 is probably still around on the peninsula area. No, he's not. He's moved back to the cap area. He's firing at the M4. Terry's dialing in the aim. Rounds out. It's a bit late and it goes into the rock face. That's unfortunate. Just saw that T34 goes by the name of Muppet 1. I hope he doesn't live up to his name. Well, he probably will in the end. Okay, he's tracking that T25. If he leads it a little. Okay, it's waiting for it to go stationary before he lets fire. No, He's gone for the artillery, which has just been spotted. The AMX-13F3 rounds out. Just missed. No, he didn't lead the AMX-13F3 enough. Okay, but the AMX-13F3 is probably going to stop very shortly, so he can take shots at the approaching tanks. So if he fires at this point, he's marked the target. Rounds in. We don't know if that hit the AMX-13F3. It probably stunned him because he was located around about there. The Stug's going back and he's going to be reloaded very shortly. So, the Stug's gone down. Okay. There's a tank destroyer and the T-34 guarding the entrance. The T-34 on Terry's team has gone down. There's a Stug and a Jackson. That T-25 is spotting, but Terry's shot lands near the T-25 and stuns him, but only briefly. And Stug's going to wait around this corner, I think, because he's got very low health. He's only got 6 hit points left, so he's being very cautious. And T-25 comes around the corner. Terry's shot rounds out, and it hits the wreck. But the Panzer T-25 had already gone down. So we know that there's 3 tanks, 2 tank destroyers and the AMX-13F3. In fact, that's definitely wrong actually. It's a medium, a tank destroyer and then the AMX-13. So T-34, an SU-100 and the AMX-13F3. Okay, Terry's moving in. He's trying to get closer. Wants to get better angles on the opponents, because unfortunately from where he's positioned, he cannot get a good shot. Okay, that SU-100 has moved further onto the island. This is going to be very difficult for the Stug, because he hasn't got that much in the way of hit points left. If the Stug goes down, it's going to be Terry in the M44 versus 3 opponents. Oh, and the Stug's dead. Oh, that's a problem. So it's 1 versus 3. TerryDK in his M44 versus an SU-100, a T-34 and an AMX-13F3. Now the question is, where are they going to move? We saw some trees go down. Terry's fired a shot into them, but we don't know if it hit anything. It probably didn't. Okay. Well, Terry could go on the assault in the M44, although it's very dangerous, so I suspect that what he's going to do instead is go defensive and try and assault these tanks one by one as they come across. It's a shotgun round, aimed manually. Okay, the SU-100 couldn't get at him. He's pulling back a bit more, letting the SU-100 come in, and then he can blow it away with the 155mm as it comes around the corner. The SU-100's overconfident, and he's taken him away! He's blown him away with a shotgun round straight to the face. That AMX-13F3 did try a round, only stunned Terry briefly. They know where he is, but it's very difficult then now to see him. The T-34 is coming in quickly, so he's going to have to quickly get around these rocks, because the T-34 is going to be transmitting his position back to the AMX-13F3. Here he comes. Oh, and a shotgun round right into the side of the T-34. I think actually the round splashed the T-34, but it killed him. Now what Terry's doing is jinxing. He's moving about in an unpredictable manner, so the AMX-13F3 can't fire at him because he can't see him, doesn't know where he is now. Any shot that the AMX fires is going to be a blind shot. Okay, so he's going to move to the enemy cap and try and find him up there. The great thing about the M44 is it is the true successor to the Burt, the FE304. after Wargaming adjusted the bird and made him fatter and slower and decreased the power of his gun, the M44 actually retains most of the characteristics of the bird in its speed, its manoeuvrability, its firepower. It's a great all-rounder actually. It's not just good in the arty role, it's actually very good in the shotgun role as well. It's why this arty has such a fast reload and a fast time to aim, as well as its capabilities in the shotgun. It's why it's so loved by the people who play it so often. In fact, actually, Sercon took an M44 out for a spin the other day, in fact actually a couple of months ago, and he was surprised at how agile it was and did surprisingly well for a non-arty player. Some of the Unicums don't particularly like arty, but you have to accept that it does have a place in the game. Okay, he's coming up on the cap, but he's going to the north side of the cap because there's a dip in the land there which actually protects you a certain amount from being seen by the enemy if the enemy was coming back to the cap. But there's also the possibility that the enemy arty would have been in the trees because that's the favoured place for arty that are firing from this cap. Okay, he's moving instead to the south side of the cap using the rocks. No, he's decided to go to the north side after all, but he's going to stay in the cap but on the north side and see if he can spot the enemy as he comes in. It looks to me like he's going to shotgun the enemy as soon as he appears. Now I suspect that the enemy made it over the peninsula, in which case he'll be coming from Terry's behind Terry at this moment, because Terry didn't spot him as he was making his way up the centre. Now the enemy has to come back to the cap because there's no way that he can win in a capping battle, so he has to come back, and of course that's going to give Terry the opportunity to shotgun him as he approaches, or even to line up an overhead shot at short range. I know I favour actually shotgunning by manually aiming, because if you've got snapshot, it's very easy with this particular arty to aim at a target that's a few degrees out either side, because the M44 has got quite a wide arc of fire. There he is, he's been spotted. Okay, Terry turns to face him, fires the target, fires and misses, but so does the AMX. Now in a reload battle, the M44 is going to win, which means all he has to do is drive up to the AMX and shoot him in the side. And there you go. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, Terry. Okay, let's have a look at the end of game stats. And surprisingly, this was only a second class. Obviously, in order to score an ace in the M44, you really need to be in a tier 8 battle, because this little arty, this little tier 6 arty, can really hold its own in a tier 8 battle and severely damage tier 8 tanks. Okay, he got a bruiser as well. He got the Invader medal because he capped out in the cap, and as well as killing the enemy. And he got the Top Gun. So all in all, a very, very successful round. Okay, if we look at the figures, he did 830 hit points of damage. He did the highest number of kills, 6 kills. He scored the highest XP, base XP of 749. He fired 19 shots, 4 were direct hits and penetrations, 6 were splash. He did 830 damage, 470 was more than 300 meters, so the rest were all the shotguns that he did. The 3 shotguns on the SU-100, the T-34 and the AMX. He received 1 hit as a result of splash damage, and that was the AMX firing at him. He damaged 8 vehicles, destroyed 6, stuns caused 4, Base capture points 100. He managed to cap out and kill the enemy. He has a premium account, so he scored 24,071 credits. After deductions for repair and ammunition, he walks away with 14,253 credits. His XP was 1124, but this was his first victory of the day, so times 2, he took away 2,248 XP. That's an absolutely excellent game. Well done, Terry. It's the sort of replay we like to see. If you enjoyed this battle, I certainly did, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of more interesting Arty battles like this, and I think you'll be persuaded after you've seen them that the Arty is actually an essential part of the team and can sometimes carry the team and win the battle. So thanks very much, Terry. Please subscribe to our channel, and thank you very much for watching.